What if the thing blocking your way was never the real problem? You try, you push, you plan, and still life resists. The door doesn't open, the person doesn't change. The dream feels just out of reach. In that moment, frustration sets in. You tell yourself, this shouldn't be happening. But the Stoics would challenge you, shouldn't it? Marcus Aurelius faced rebellion, disease, the death of children, betrayal by friends, and still found peace. Not because the path was easy, but because he understood something we forget. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. It's not just a clever phrase, it's a key. Right now, your life might feel stuck, but that stuck is a signal, not a prison. The real cage is invisible. It's made of assumptions, expectations, the belief that life should go the way you planned. But Marcus didn't seek to control outcomes. He sought to control himself, his perception, his response, his discipline. That is the true freedom. So the question isn't, why is this happening to me? It's, what is this trying to teach me? The obstacle isn't your enemy, it's your awakening. Imagine waking up every morning knowing that the fate of an empire rests on your shoulders. Armies march, borders shift, plagues sweep through cities. And yet, in the quiet before dawn, a man sits alone, writing to himself. Not speeches, not commands, but reminders, reflections, questions like, what is in my control today? That man was Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man of his time, yet also somehow the most introspective. In meditations, he doesn't boast, he confesses. He wrestles with ego, fear, anger, desire, the same storms we face today. His power didn't exempt him from struggle, it made the stakes higher. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Modern life bombards us with noise, news feeds, notifications, endless options. But Marcus teaches us that clarity is born in simplicity, in the radical decision to focus only on what depends on you, not your past, not other people, not what tomorrow might bring, but this moment, and how you meet it. How? It's no accident that many therapists today draw on Stoic ideas. The core principle of cognitive behavioral therapy mirrors Epictetus. It's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things. Marcus lived this truth. He trained his mind like a warrior trains his sword, sharpening it daily against the chaos of life. Not to escape hardship, but to meet it well. And now 2,000 years later, we still read his private thoughts, because in learning how he ruled himself, we learn how to free ourselves. There is a moment in every life when something crumbles. A dream ends, a person leaves, the world doesn't bend to your will. It's here, in this sharp collision with reality, that most people retreat. They curse the obstacle. They call it unfair. But Marcus Aurelius did something different. He leaned in. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. To most it's a riddle, but to a Stoic it's a compass. Marcus wrote those words not from a place of comfort, but in the middle of war and disease. The Antonine Plague was ravaging the empire. His people were dying. His own body was breaking down. He didn't deny the pain. He didn't pretend it wasn't hard, but he refused to let hardship dictate who he would become. This is the Stoic way. You don't control what happens, but you always control what you do with it. Modern psychology calls this cognitive reframing, the ability to reinterpret a situation not as defeat, but as material for growth. Not this ruined me, but this forged me. There's a story about a Roman general who was ambushed and outnumbered. His men panicked, but he raised his sword and shouted, "Good, now we fight with purpose." That's the Stoic spirit. Obstacles are not detours. They are part of the training. They shape resilience, forge discipline, demand wisdom. Even now, whatever weight you're carrying, whatever setback you face, the Stoics would ask, are you letting it close you or open you? Because the obstacle is not blocking your path, it is your path. And the moment you stop resisting, the moment you begin to ask, how can I use this? Everything shifts. It's not positivity, it's power. It's not denial, it's direction. Life will keep placing barriers before you. But the Stoic doesn't see barriers, only invitations to rise. We've all felt it, that dull weight in the chest, that feeling of being stuck and in a job, a relationship, a season of life. You try to move forward, but something invisible holds you back. And so you say it. I'm trapped. I have no way out. But is that true? Or is it just that one door closed and your eyes forgot to look elsewhere? The Stoics teach that being stuck is almost always a matter of perspective. Epictetus wrote, "It's not things themselves that disturb us, but the views we take of them." What you call stuck might actually be a silent redirection. Think of a river blocked by a boulder. It doesn't freeze in place. It bends. It finds another way. That is nature's wisdom. And your nature, too, is adaptable. You lost an opportunity. You still have your integrity. Someone disappointed you. You still have your patience. You failed. You still have your ability to rise again. This is the art of resilience. Not brute force, but fluidity. Not clinging to the door that shut, but discovering the one that quietly opened behind you. Modern neuroscience backs this up. Our brains are wired to seek patterns, but also to rewire. Neuroplasticity means you can literally reshape your mind by how you respond to challenges. So instead of asking, "Why me?" the Stoic mind asks, "What now?" You are not stuck. You are simply being invited to reroute. And that new path, however narrow, however unfamiliar, could be the one that leads to everything you've been searching for. But you'll only find it when you stop staring at the door that closed. We know what we should do. We say we'll start tomorrow. But the Stoics didn't believe in tomorrow. You could be good today, but instead you choose tomorrow. Marcus Aurelius. How many moments have slipped through your hands while waiting for the right time? We wait for motivation, for clarity, for the perfect plan. But Marcus, emperor, philosopher, father, general, knew that waiting was the enemy of becoming. The Stoics spoke of three disciplines: perception, action, and will. Action sits at the center, the bridge between thought and transformation. You say you want to write a book, change careers, build strength, heal relationships. But until you act, these are just dreams with no spine. Action makes them real. And Stoic action is not dramatic. It is deliberate. A single breath before you speak. A phone call you've avoided. A choice to wake early and face the day with intention. Marcus didn't conquer chaos with grand gestures. He simply began. Each day, without fanfare, he wrote in his journal, he fulfilled his duties, he helped where he could, and he endured where he had to. This is the Roman concept of virtues, not just moral virtue, but strength in motion. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Epictetus. In modern terms, stop announcing your goals. Start showing up for them. Discipline isn't about intensity, it's about consistency. Consider the firefighter who runs into the flames, not because he doesn't feel fear, but because he trained for this. Or the single mother who wakes up before dawn to feed her children and face the world again. That's Stoic action. Quiet, relentless, aligned with virtue. Even in your smallest habits, you are voting for the person you are becoming. And if you miss a step, begin again. Stoicism is not about perfection. It's about returning to the path over and over, with clarity and courage. Today, take the first step. Not the perfect one, the necessary one. Because until you move, the path remains only theory. What if you could love everything that's ever gone wrong? Not just accept it, not just survive it, but love it. As necessary, as meaningful, as fuel. That's amor fati, the Stoic principle that means love of fate. To say, this didn't happen to me, it happened for me. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it. The pain, the delay, the betrayal, the failure, it all feeds your flame if you let it." This is not toxic positivity. It's not pretending things are fine. It's understanding that within everything hard is the invitation to become harder to break. Think of a blacksmith. To shape steel, he must strike it, heat it, bend it. Without this trial, the blade remains weak. Your character is no different. What you call too much may be exactly what you needed. What felt like loss may have been a clearing. A modern story, someone loses their job, a devastating blow. But months later, they start a business, discover a passion, rebuild with more alignment than ever before. That fire didn't destroy them, it purified them. So when life throws its weight against you, don't collapse. Say instead, "Good, now I rise." Because once you stop resisting what is, you reclaim your power to shape what will be. Let every difficulty become a lesson. Let every scar mark where growth began. And when you look back, you won't wish things had been easier. You'll be grateful they made you stronger. There is a lie we've all been taught, quietly, subtly, over time, that we're at the mercy of the world, that we must wait to be chosen, saved, given permission to begin. But Marcus Aurelius didn't wait. He wrote in his journal, "You have the power to strip away many superfluous troubles." He knew helplessness is often a choice we make by forgetting what we already control. And here's the truth the Stoics repeated endlessly: no one can stop you from choosing virtue. No one can prevent you from thinking clearly. No one can take your ability to act with integrity, courage, and wisdom. Even when the world takes everything, status, wealth, plans, comfort, it cannot touch the essence of who you are. You are not helpless. You are not broken. You are simply being called to remember your own power. The Stoic doesn't wait for the perfect wave. He trains to ride the storm. So when the next setback hits, and it will, pause. Then say to yourself, "This is not the end. This is my sharpening." That's the final blow to helplessness. The understanding that nothing external can define your inner strength unless you let it. You've had the power all along. Now it's time to use it. Obstacles are not interruptions, they are initiations. Each challenge you've faced has carved you, not to break you, but to reveal what's deeper. Each delay, each no, each painful detour, they weren't signs to quit. They were shaping your soul. Marcus Aurelius didn't ask for ease. He asked for strength, for clarity, for courage. And with each entry in his journal, he left a map for us. Do every act of your life as though it were the last. Is this essential? Don't argue what a good man should be one. This is the Stoic path, not flashy, not perfect, but grounded, present, relentless in the pursuit of inner excellence. So ask yourself now, what obstacle am I facing, and how can I turn it into the way forward? If this message spoke to you, let your first small act of virtue be a simple one. Click like, as a signal that you're choosing strength over stagnation. Leave a comment. Share one obstacle you're reframing right now. Subscribe, not just to the channel, but to your own evolution. The path is waiting. It always was.